Guten Tag
Y buenos días
and good evening to the first episode of Twin Talk.
Twin Talk.
Today we're gonna talk about why racism is stupid, and we're super excited for this first episode. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a conversation, and we're gonna have a lot of fun to share our thoughts. And yeah, we're just gonna start.
Yeah, let's go.
So
we're going to talk about why racism is stupid. I think most people would agree in this day and age. And one of the things I was looking up the other day was how scientists were trying to figure out, like, is stupidity or lower intelligence connected to higher levels of racism or potential racism and discrimination coming out of a child in the future. And one of the things that these scientists looked at was this basic idea of physics, which is called the law of conservation of energy. Which is energy is neither created nor destroyed. It only transitions or is transmuted. And one of the ways that they looked at this law of conservation or conservancy in kids was by showing them a cup that was flat and wide. And then they also had a cup that was skinny and tall. Okay. And they both were the same volume. Okay. So the way that they would see if this child could understand this concept was they would pour water and they would see, like, can they understand it? Half the kids did, half the kids didn't, but they would try and get every kid on board. And some of the kids just literally couldn't get it into their head, and they kept thinking that the short, wide, larger looking one was bigger. And the reason why these scientists did this test for conservancy is because they're trying to remove other variable factors that could be contributing to the reason why this kid might be discriminatory. It could be the neighborhood that they're raised in. It could be their class. It could be a variety of other factors. And so one of the ways that they wanted to just eliminate this was looking at this law of conservancy. And so anyways, they figured out that these kids who weren't able to understand this basic tenet of physics, they did a longitudinal study, which means they just went longer in time, and they looked at these kids in the future and they did a questionnaire and saw if they were discriminatory towards certain different ethnicities, races, phenotypic traits, etc. And you can ask certain questions to see if someone is discriminatory, right? Yes. So they asked them in the future, and they found out that the kids who didn't understand this tenet of physics were more discriminatory. And yeah, I just think that's really interesting because that ties into basic intelligence that's needed to survive in this earth. Yes. And so
kids are ruthless, man.
Kids are dangerous.
Yeah, as you speak about kids, I want to share a story with you.
Please.
With y'all. So I grew up in Germany, and I went to a traditional German kindergarten. And I was the only kid within African background, so the only colored kid in the kindergarten.
Okay.
So one day I was in the locker room, just about to dress myself and go out to play. And this other kid came into the locker room, and his name was Daniel, and he was a friend of mine. We used to play football together. And he comes to me and he looks me into the eyes, and I look at him and he tells me, "You are and he told me the N-word.
Dark.
Really dark.
Really dark.
And so I was totally confused and asked him, what does it mean? What is it? But that was the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
And he then told me, "You're black. You I've heard they call you N-word." And yeah, it just made me feel, I was shocked, and it made me feel bad in the moment, as a kid. And
it's interesting that we all, people of color, or especially black people, have this moment when you're called the N-word the first time.
Yeah.
And it's a very important moment. How did you feel? What?
It had a real bitter taste in my mouth. I felt smaller,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know the word, but it came with an energy that was just like super discriminating, and like I didn't felt good.
And did you guys continue
So
the friendship? Like,
no, we didn't.
this is the day
After that happened, the friendship kind of like split. And after he said that, he thought for a moment and then said, "Ha! Like you're not like 100% black, like you're light skin, and you're basically like a N-word zebra." So then they start to tell you, like,
You're an African animal.
You're an African animal.
You're a lion. You're a monkey.
You're a monkey.
You're a chimpanzee.
Another story I want to share is when I got my first apartment and I walked outside. It was like 11 p.m. 11 a.m. Sorry, and it was a super sunny day.
Where is this?
In my city, in Germany.
Okay, in Germany.
It was in Germany, and I walked outside, and next to my apartment is a mall. So there was a long way, something like 150 meters. I walked towards to the mall, and I wanted to get like a sandwich, and I was such in a happy mood. So I was streaming, walking in the street, you know how it is. So I walked, and I saw this woman, and she was kind of like looking towards me, and she walked in the same direction.
The black woman?
A white woman.
A white woman.
And then, yeah, as we were closer, I wanted to walk around her, and as I took a left step, she took a left step with me.
To block you?
Yes, and then I did a right step, and she blocked me again. I was like, what? Okay. And then she looked me in the eye and told me, "Go back to your country."
Just straight up.
Straight up, go back to your country.
Like, you need to leave. Like,
yes.
Stop paying rent.
I was like, wow.
Cut your lease. Go.
Exactly.
Just drop your lease.
Then I just talked to her and told her, "Madame, I'm German. I'm born here. My mom is German. My dad is Nigerian.
Mm.
So I'm both. But like I speak the language fluently, and I grew up here. Like this is like my country."
Exactly.
And she like didn't really listen. She had her mind straight up like, "I'm different. Like I am black, and I don't belong here." And she told me again that I should go back to my country. But
you're from there.
I'm from there.
Talking to her in the language.
Exactly, I'm talking to her in the language. So.
Did she have a specific reason? Like, was her dad killed by like a black man?
I don't know. No, she didn't say it. She was straight up just. It was during a time where a lot of refugees came to Germany, so it was kind of like an overheated situation created by like white people.
Yeah.
And they kind of blamed everyone that looks different.
Yeah.
Blamed them.
I mean, was it creating a problem? Were there like homeless black people on the street? Like, what was the issue with like refugees? Because they are refugees, so they like, need help.
So the thing is in Germany, because it's such a hard language, that it takes a lot of time for the refugees to learn the language to get a job, because without speaking the language, they can like work immediately. So a lot of people have a lot of time and chill in like parks.
Yeah,
they see them like
hanging
together,
out,
listening to music, dancing, whatever, and like
they think it's like a gang.
Exactly.
Groups of black people.
Yes. So I think that was like what she had in mind, and so I walked away from her because she didn't want to listen. She didn't want to engage. And then she screamed behind me, "Go back to your country!"
Just at the end.
Yes, again. So
it's pretty stupid, right?
Yes.
Because she's worried about. She has this unfounded fear of an increasing number of black people in her area.
Yes.
Her is hers.
Yes.
Germany is hers. So isn't it odd that like she has this fear, but like it can't be completely unfounded, because she also has probably this in-ground like German racism in the socialism, in the capitalism, in the ads, in the marketing, in the stories that are like being told to her. You know, like be scared of what's not white. Exactly. White is pure, white is holy. Anything black can be dark and dangerous and like evil, and like she's just afraid. Like she might not even know why she's like afraid.
Afraid of the unknown.
It's really dumb. and sad. Yeah, one of the things like that relates directly from the conservancy issue that these kids like couldn't understand is the lowered intelligence. If you have like a lower intelligence, you're less likely to be able to process different perspectives. You're less likely to have vast reasoning skills. And if you're unable to process things quickly and reason easily, then you're more likely to want simple and easy and understandable in your myopic little view. You're gonna essentially like just want very basic shit. You're gonna want this basic stuff like to consume. And having these black refugees coming into her area is a complex issue, because that takes her having to come out of her story and her body and her mindset to like be like, okay, why are they in groups? Why are they not at work? Why are they like, you have to ask questions.
I feel like a lot of people don't ask themselves questions like, why is this like happening? Because if you ask yourself basic questions and
you find answers,
the answers, it makes sense.
Yeah. They don't answer. They don't ask the question.
Like,
yes. It's really odd to me because, yeah, there has to be a certain level of intelligence to even process someone else's lifestyle, someone else's perspective, someone else's view, and they're just.
It's all about a perspective, because when you can put yourself into the shoes, for example, the refugee that comes and like there's a war in the country and you have to leave, you have to pack your bags, and you're here and your house is burned down, and like you're looking for jobs, and you're trying, and
German's hard,
exactly,
like
you're trying, and if you don't like try to understand that, and you don't have any empathy for the people, it's easy to just be like blame them,
go back to your country, why would you come here? Exactly. But it's like, take this white woman, put her in a situation with war, and let's see if she even makes it out. Exactly. You're like, did she get out of her country even? It's really wild. You have to have some empathy. A lot of them, I mean, these black refugees are dealing with the uncertainty of living in Germany, right? But the white woman, she's dealing with the uncertainty of these like black refugees in her space, right? So she's been told a story that black is negative, black is dangerous, and an increase in black around you could take your life, take your job, take your woman, they'll take it all. They'll take our woman. And she's like uncertain of this situation with these increasing black people. One of the things with like a lower level of intelligence is in situations where it's uncertain, you try and maintain what you already have. You try and conserve your lifestyle, how things are, your neighborhood, your everything. And that goes back to the caveman era, when, someone starts acting crazy and different and bringing weird things into the cave. They gotta go. They gotta go, because we don't know, like, you could leave something here that will kill us or end us, or you just need to be part of this, what's happening here. And so this uncertainty is founded in this primal instinct to like maintain balance and maintain safety. And what she doesn't know, this woman doesn't know, is like, this uncertainty is based off of like an unfounded fear, because it's not just an uncertainty in the moment, right? Like if a bomb came and landed right here and blew things up, it's an uncertain situation. We should probably freak out, get out, like pack our things, like go and figure it out. That's part of our primal like ability to survive. She's not just functioning off the primal ability to survive. She's functioning off of that and the story that's been told to her. And when you try and conserve certain ideals based on this like fear, this unfounded fear, over time and over ages and over centuries and families, a story gets passed down. And it's institutionalized, into the culture and the society.
Exactly.
And she's functioning off of that.
What's interesting is because me and the kid in the kindergarten, we played before, everything was fine, and then at some point he heard that black people are
the N-word.
N-word. And so he either heard it from like his environment or from his household, from his parents. So it gets straight passed by to the younger generation.
Exactly.
And that's the issue.
And that's dumb.
It's dumb.
It's real dumb.
Yes.
It's real dumb. Because the boy was fine with you. You guys were
friends. You were fine
and then
before.
all of a sudden you're told a story, and now
you can't be friends anymore because like
it's dumb. Are you a dunce? Are you a dunce?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's resume, or let's put this in conclusion.
Yes.
We gotta ask racists, are you a dunce?
Are you a dunce?
Are you a dunce?
Are you a dunce?
And why are you a dunce? What
Why?
are the main facets of racism being stupid?
First of all, we all biologically 99.9% equal. And the sun hits different parts of the world stronger.
Yes.
And through time, the skin color got darker through protection, more melanin.
Exactly.
And yes.
Why is that the reason of all this like hate in the world? We're literally the same.
We're the same.
We're literally the same. Like Quincy Jones said, we are global gumbo.
Global
gumbo. Yeah, so the faster we get past that, the faster we can get to loving each other because we're the same. And there's another fight to fight. It has nothing to do with these phenotypic traits of eye color, hair color, skin color. We're all the same. So we need to get to loving each other. So we need you guys to leave your comments on what you thought about this topic and let us know why you guys think that racism is stupid. If you have a longer story, you can email us at twintalk.global@gmail.com. We'll put that in the description.
For our next video, we're gonna talk about things that wouldn't exist without
Black women!
We love and appreciate all the black queens out there.
We love black women.
We love black women.
We love all women.
And I want that all of you do your research and look which things wouldn't exist without black women.
Yeah.
And please comment under our last post on
twintalk.show.
And yes, please comment things that wouldn't exist without black women, and we're gonna talk about it. And if you bring up good things, we're gonna feature you in the video and show the comment, and we're gonna talk about it. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. So we're waiting for all the comments. I'm really excited.
Yes. Let us know your comments. Like, what are these dope inventions? Put them in the comments. And if there are any really cool ones, we're gonna bring them up. Okay? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Zing zing.
Zing zing.
Zing zing.